So hello everybody. Hello from Perth, Australia. So I'm back home. I've been here since, when was it? November, after 3 months in Canada and Alaska. And I just wanted to do a little video to introduce myself. So I'm currently on a little staycation at Crown Towers because Ed Sheeran was tonight, so hence the dress. I went with the Celestial theme for his song Celestial. And anyway, so I just wanted to introduce you to my channel, and I wanted to kind of introduce you to myself. I probably should have done this as my first video, but I got a bit excited in Canada and just started early. So my name's Stephanie, but everyone calls me Steph, and I just wanted to let you know this channel is more than just taste test videos when I get around to it. I plan on just sharing my travels with you all. So basically, in short, so I never actually expected I'd be traveling. So I've struggled with mental illness all my life. I'll keep it short story short. So basically, my worst part, because I have OCD, depression, and anxiety, but my biggest one was my lowest of my lowest was in like end of 2010, beginning of 2011, where I couldn't even leave my house because my OCD was that bad. So at that point, I didn't think I had a future to look forward to. But lucky, my favorite band, Good Charlotte, were actually touring the next April, so April 2011. So I was like, I was gonna go to their concert no matter what. So I pushed through, and luckily enough, by the time the concert came around, I was then looking at going to uni, and everything was a lot better. Well, not a lot better, like I had a lot of stuff to work through, but I had a way out, or way forward, I should say. So anyway, I went to uni, and then I ended up, so with part of my, so how the traveling came through was, my best friends from high school had always wanted to go to Europe, so I went along with them. So a few months before I went away, I met a man, I should say boy, he was more of a boy. And so, you know, OCD, anxiety, I never actually thought I could actually love someone and, you know, all that kind of thing. I thought I was too broken. So basically with that, I went off to Europe, and then, so I learned I could actually, you know, thing. And then I went off to Europe. On that trip was the life-changing point. So I had a falling out with one of the best friends I went with. That friendship was over after 16 years. And then I got back, and that boy had broke up with me, said I was a perfect girlfriend. So thank you for that. But he basically, I'm pretty sure he cheated, didn't confess it because he changed overnight, but within a week he was in another relationship. So hoo-ha. But anyway, so that was like a lot of issues there I had to work through, and basically that was my next lowest point. But I basically was like, okay, so that was the next struggle, but I got through it. And then within a couple of years later, I was a little bit stronger, and I decided that I wasn't going to worry about dudes and, you know, the cultural, societal expectations of marriage and children, and that if it was meant for me, it would happen, right? So I decided that I would make it my goal to step foot on all 7 continents, which is still my goal. And if I meet a man, wonderful. If not, I'll be the old lady in the nursing home at the end of my life with all the killer stories to tell of my adventures. And in saying that, I'm also a millennial. Yeah, I'm 37. No one believes me, but thank you. Just aging well, like most of us millennials, I think. And anyway, so with that, basically my solo, well, I had less friends, not many people to travel with when you're a little bit of an introvert like me, but I'm an introverted extrovert. Once you know me, I am out there. So basically I went to, like, my first step, I had to do a trial solo trip. So my first step was, okay, my favorite band since high school, again, Good Charlotte. So I've been a fan for over 20 years now. Just got me through a lot of shit in my life, obviously. They were just, they gave me a place to belong and everything when I was younger, and a little bit of a misfit. I was a, punk emo kid. But anyway, I went off, and my first solo trip was my tester, and I went and followed Good Charlotte on their tour in 2018 when they were doing the Download Festival and the sideshows. So I went to the first ever Download Festival in Australia, in Melbourne, and then I followed them up to Sydney and then Brisbane. Brisbane was last, I think. Yeah. And then I came home. And I survived. I did it. It was like anxiety inducing, everything, but I got there. It is a struggle to travel with anxiety, but it's not impossible. And I just want to inspire people. So I love my mother dearly, but just for example, she has always let anxiety stand in her way and stop her, and I didn't want to be like that, which I've actually started to inspire her, hence the staycation tonight. She's staying away from home for the night. Oh, I'm proud of her. So anyway, that was my first trip solo, and then the year later, so that awful trip, not awful, I can't say awful, that disastrous trip to Europe was actually, everything happens for a reason. I had to go on that trip because I met my now best friend, Leo, who is from New Zealand. And so my first solo trip internationally, I spent 6 weeks in New Zealand. And now I did catch up with her for 5 days of that, but the rest of it, I traveled solo on a backpacking bus across both islands. That was amazing. And then Canada was always on my to-do list, but unfortunately COVID happened. But the good thing is, okay, so I work in retail, not where I want to stay, but for someone who's a creative and does not have a lot of experience outside of retail. I have a degree in creative and professional writing. I did do film and TV and advanced diploma straight out of high school, which I guess comes in now a little bit. So anyway, I'm basically in retail to pay the bills, and I'm hoping to eventually get out, but I've just got to figure out where my skills can be used otherwise. Or if this channel blows up, maybe even better, but I'm not putting my hopes on it. My goal for this year is just to grow this a little bit. But anyway, so I made friends with that friend thing, and then COVID happened. And the good thing with COVID though, working retail, I was still in a job. I just didn't have a reason to take holidays because I couldn't go anywhere. So I took like a odd week here and there where I needed it. But for the most part, I banked up my leave, which means basically I didn't take all my holidays and I was sitting there. And then, so my goal was to get we get long service leave in Australia, which is like 8 weeks paid leave every 10 years. But once you get to 10 years, it gets added on a week each year. And anyway, so my goal for the last 3 years was just get through my job and make it to, long service, and then go spend my long service in Canada. So it ended up being like, there was the 4 regions I really wanted to do of Canada. So it was Alaska and like the Yukon region, the Rocky Mountains, and then there was the Maritimes, like Halifax and all Nova Scotia, and followed by the French Canada and Ontario, that kind of region, Niagara Falls and stuff. So instead of doing it, flying from Australia, horrible, like 20 hours in the air at least, and from the East Coast, from being a West Coast girl, even longer. So I traveled to all the 4 regions at once rather than paying 4 separate airfares. And I was lucky to get paid the whole time. So it's once in a lifetime, only time I'll do it. And yeah, while people think I'm rich and have too much money for being able to do that, not really. It's just, again, millennial, decided not to worry about housing when I'm never going to ever be able to afford it. So I live with my parents. Oh, but not to worry. I don't freeload or anything. They own the house, and I pay money towards the groceries and contribute to all the bills that come in. We divide them. So, and when I was traveling, I still paid the bills, and, or not quite the bills because I wasn't using extra electricity and that, but I still paid the base rate, which goes into the groceries. So anyway, we did the, so yeah, but anyway, so I want this channel to be about more than just how do you put it? I want it to be about more than just taste test videos. My plan is to basically, I want to put little snippets and videos and things together of like some of my days of traveling, because there's some really cool stuff that I did see and have experienced. And I'd like to, I'm happy to talk about traveling with anxiety. If anyone has any questions, I'm willing to tackle them with you, or answer them for you, like in a, another video. So if anyone has any suggestions of what else I can do, that's great. But the food videos shall continue because I have found a way to source snacks from different countries. But for now, I just wanted to say that is my story, and I hope I can inspire you all with my travels. But the next one is going full circle. My next trip is only in a couple of weeks, and full circle moment, following Good Charlotte on their tour again. So I'll catch you all later, and thank you for getting this far. Bye.